It was inevitable that marshes would be drained, we say to ourselves. It was inevitable that ditches would be burned. It was inevitable that fields would be plowed each fall, leaving no winter cover for upland birds. And because it was inevitable, it was now tolerable.
On March 7, 1982, those words by outdoor columnist Dennis Anderson were destined to be heard across America's farm country.
We tolerate winters such as these when hens and roosters freeze to death, their faces mere clumps of ice after they turn windward to a final, desperate attempt to survive. Have you ever watched a pheasant freeze?
A lifelong upland hunter, Dennis Anderson had watched the decline of ringneck pheasants in his home state of Minnesota. He'd seen the Black Desert. He'd seen the decline of habitat. And finally, he'd seen enough.
Upland bird restoration. The time is now.
And so it was, words sparked a vision of farm country where grasslands survived alongside cornfields, where higher crop yields included ringneck pheasants. So it was just a dream in 1982, a dream called Pheasants Forever. That was then. This is now.
Look at that.
Anderson's article struck a nerve and led to the creation of Pheasants Forever, a grassroots conservation organization with a habitat mission.
Everybody knows that if you got habitat, you'll have pheasants.
Ooh, that was close.
From the onset, Pheasants Forever was designed to inspire local chapters to raise revenue for local habitat projects. Jeff Vinden, the first CEO of Pheasants Forever.
We not only, do good things for wildlife, but we do things that stop soil erosion and improve water quality.
From the first habitat project completed by the Kandiyohi County chapter in Minnesota back in 1984, to the first land acquisition purchased by the Nobles County, Minnesota chapter. They purchased a 30-acre abandoned gravel pit.
I take great pride in the fact that Nobles County Pheasants Forever actually acquired and completed the first public land acquisition.
Well, it's only 30-some acres, but it was, it was kind of an accomplishment, we thought.
The chapter planted prairie on the property and turned it over to the state. Now and forever, it is home to wildlife and provides public access to a wild place.
You drive by it and you look at it and you say, this is what can happen. This is what can be.
Good for the soil and water, good for wildlife, and good for the soul.
The old saying, if you make it, they will come and they will be here, and that's very true.
I think when they see the local doings from Pheasants Forever, they see those dollars coming back. That's what they like.
Now, Pheasants Forever's business model was pretty simple. Money raised by a local Pheasants Forever chapter stays local. Raise $50,000 at the local banquet. That $50,000 goes towards local habitat.
We'll come to your community, we'll show you how to raise the money, and then the money you raise, you keep, the bulk of it. And so that's a real empowering model.
That's grassroots conservation to the core.
Hen! Jeez!
We're able to do many more projects than we could 10 years ago because of that, so we're purchasing more ground and putting it into conservation ground, making that available for hunters.
Today, 115,000 PF members in 700 chapters throughout America push Pheasants Forever's mission. The chapters raise enough money to launch 25,000 projects a year. They impact 250,000 acres. And get this, over the last 25 years, PF volunteers created wildlife habitat on more than 5 million acres.
We have a responsibility to be stewards of this land, not to dominate it, not to beat it into submission, but to find a way to live in harmony with it.
It just means a lot that people are willing to, spend their time and money and their effort to make sure that there's, birds for everybody.
Not satisfied with those efforts, Pheasants Forever reached out to others to launch a program called Build a Wildlife Area.
Well, the Build a Wildlife Area concept is one about protecting land, preserving land, and acquiring land, not only for wildlife, but for kids and for the kids' future.
Even Raiden, the star of Pheasants Forever television, has raised more than $200,000 to help Pheasants Forever build wildlife areas. Now, Pheasants Forever is about more than just producing ringnecks. In 2005, the leaders of Pheasants Forever made headlines by establishing a new organization to help another game bird in need, America's quail. The result? Quail Forever, now up and running with nearly 100 chapters in 24 different states.
Making the habitat better to make the hunting better.
In quail territory, Quail Forever chapters are busy planning quail habitat.
That's going to be great wildlife habitat, especially for quail. That's going to be one of my main goals on this property. To some degree on this property, we're healing the land. This land has been in a condition where it's been suffering for a while.
All of us at Husker Covey know that by improving this quail habitat, it's going to improve pheasant habitat as well.
You ready, Timmy?
After 25 years, Pheasants Forever celebrates more than just habitat accomplishments.
Whoa, I have my safety on.
We always brag our #1 priority is building wildlife habitat. I would say right after that is youth education and getting youth involved in the outdoors.
It's fun.
Passing on the passion is another PF objective, and perhaps it's the most important goal.
The people that are here today are the future funders of Pheasants Forever fundraising events. The people that are here today are going to be the people that are going to contribute dollars to future habitat programs.
Woo!
Up ahead, Pheasants Forever tackles a new initiative to make sure no child is left indoors.
When the covered wagons were still passing over my road. And
through the No Child Left Indoors initiative, the PF Education Mission connects youth and families to the land in the same spirit as Aldo Leopold's writings. It happens through habitat projects, outdoor classrooms, mentor hunts, and a variety of other activities. Delivering that conservation message, selling the habitat mission means the reach of Pheasants Forever now extends from the nation's pheasant fields all the way to the halls of the nation's policymakers.
The reason we're successful here in Washington is because we're successful back home. We're successful because of our ability to work hand in hand with farmers and ranchers, real stewards of the land that want to do good things for wildlife. And our chapter network and volunteers that are out there working with those same people. Those successes help us educate policymakers here in D.C.
Senator Howard Vincent with Pheasants Forever.
By working with lawmakers, Pheasants Forever played an important role in what we know as CRP. Back in 1985, Pheasants Forever helped design our current-day Conservation Reserve program. Under CRP, farmers receive annual payments to plant habitat and native grasses. In return, CRP halted soil erosion and improved water quality. Oh, and one more thing. CRP led to a boom in pheasant numbers all across pheasant country.
There he goes.
The proof was flying in the air.
Look at that.
It's kind of nice to know that there's always people out there, doing their part to make sure that there will be pheasants around, for me to hunt and for my children to hunt.
Those people doing their part are you, the members of Pheasants Forever.
Have we done something significant? Absolutely. Have we done something that's fun? Absolutely.
If we want to see birds, we need to plant grass.
We can make pheasants with this kind of prairie-type habitat.
I love pheasant hunting, and I care about that we have some place to hunt.
It's good for my soul, I can tell you that.
So let us celebrate the 25th anniversary of Pheasants Forever. We have a good start. From habitat projects to youth events to the halls of our nation's capital, Pheasants Forever is like no other conservation organization. And you did it. 5 million acres and counting. But the next 25 years will be just as important as the first. Our goal remains unchanged, and to this we pledge, very simply, Pheasants Forever.